Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today, I think we got a pretty interesting show for you guys that we definitely want you guys to stick around for, so please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get into this topic here. I think this is a pretty interesting one. As y'all know, LeBron is playing like one of the best players in the world right now, and he's on the cusp of catching Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for his scoring record. I think he's going to do it in maybe 2 months. I could be wrong. He could do it in a month or two, or maybe a month and a half. Who knows? The point is, he's on his way to doing that. Now, recently, LeBron sat down to have an interview with Dave McMenamin of ESPN, right? And he sat down and he talked about a plethora of things, but I think it was centered on him catching, and ultimately passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the scoring record. And when he sat down to talk with him, he talked about a range of things. But then McMenamin, I believe, asked LeBron James a pretty pertinent question, which was simply this. The question was, who do you think currently playing in the NBA has an opportunity to, eclipse your record once you break it? And I actually got this from fadeawayworld.net. I'm going to read from them. The article basically starts off with the headline: LeBron James reveals which superstars he believes could pass him on the all-time scoring title, with just 442 points before passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the all-time scoring list. Lakers star LeBron James is on the verge of an impressive milestone. If he keeps going at this pace, LeBron will become the league's all-time leading scorer pretty soon. And it's an achievement that will likely solidify his claim as the greatest player ever. But now, LeBron is about to pass the record. Does he think that anyone has a chance to beat it? In a recent sit-down interview with NBA Today, the King gave his thoughts on the subject and named a list of players who could one day claim the top scoring spot. He said, KD comes up. He's the first name that comes to mind for sure. And also shoot 85 to 95% from the free throw line. Those are key ingredients, but the most important is about being available on the floor. We have a lot of great scorers in the league, KD being one of them, Kyrie, Luka, he's young, Embiid, Giannis, those guys, they put numbers up on the board, but you have to have a little bit of luck as well. And if you listen to the interview in its entirety, he spoke about, in terms of luck, he spoke about being available, meaning being healthy, being able to play these games. And that's something, with the exception of the recent times LeBron has had on his side, which is just health, right? LeBron has been healthy, relatively healthy for his entire career, and he's never suffered any catastrophic injury. If you think, I think Jordan broke his leg at one point. Kobe Bryant, of course, tore his Achilles tendon, broke his fingers and all of that. You've had some other players who have had some pretty gruesome injuries, but LeBron has been able to avoid that, right? He's had good fortune, on his side that has also facilitated him being able to play at a high level. Another thing that has also worked in the benefit of LeBron is the fact that he came into the NBA, I believe, at the age of 17 or 18, but I think he came into the NBA at 18. So he came in a lot younger, and that gave him a lot of time. If you look at Kobe came into the NBA, I believe, at the age of 18, but he didn't really play his first year. His first year, I believe, he averaged about 7.6 points per game, but he didn't really play a lot of minutes. Kobe Bryant was not given a lot of minutes his first year. He was only given about 15.5 minutes per game his first year in the NBA, and after that, that's when you saw his numbers start to go up in terms of his playing minutes, and that's when his scoring started to go up as he started to develop as an offensive player and as a basketball player. But let's get back to LeBron's point about players that he believes has an opportunity to eclipse that record. Let's talk about the first person and who he mentioned, Kevin Durant. I think LeBron was very, very correct to mention KD, because KD is the first person that comes to mind, and I'll tell you why. Kevin Durant, I believe, is about to enter the top 10 all-time scorers list. He's about to enter that. Although KD is 34 years old, LeBron has about I think LeBron has about 4 years on KD in terms of age. But KD has a few things going in his favor. Number one, and it's some of the things that LeBron alluded to, KD's playing style. KD, number one, is a jump shooter, right? He's a jump shooter, but he has two unique skills that make him very, very good. And I think it's something that all great scorers have. Not only is he a great jump shooter off the dribble, he's also a great catch and shoot player. There are very few players that have that ability, that have both of those things. Jordan had it. Tracy McGrady had it. Paul Pierce had it. Kobe Bryant definitely has it. Kyrie Irving definitely has it. KD has it, right? Now, why is that important? It means that as Kevin Durant gets older, and if he's playing within the right system, he will not need to exert as much energy. And also, if he's playing the right players around him that give him spacing, he would not need to exert as much energy in trying to generate scoring opportunities by breaking down the defender, as opposed to him moving without the ball and catching and shooting. He can save a lot of energy and get a lot of his offense through offensive schemes. That's something that works in his favor, because why? It allows him to retain a lot of his energy and not expend his energy trying to dribble, break down guys, then go back to the other side of the court, defend somebody. That's very, very exhausting, and it zaps a lot of your energy. That's one thing. Another thing worth pointing out is this. If you look at great players, as they get older, they drop weight, right? They drop weight for a few reasons. Number one, it removes a lot of the wear and tear on their joints, right? And these guys are jumping up and down. So if you have less weight going up and crashing on the ground, it puts less pressure on your knees, which ultimately preserves your body. Another benefit of that, of being slimmer, is because then you can use less energy to move around. But if you're heavier, you're going to need more energy. It's going to require more energy just to move around the basketball court. KD's always been slim, so he's not one of these guys that has to lower his weight to then be able to play at an older age. Another thing that he has going for him is just the style of his game, the efficiency of his game, and his overall physical attributes. Kevin Durant is 7 feet tall, right? So that allows him to shoot over pretty much any type of defense. So KD could actually play this style and average this amount of points for a very, very, very long time. And by a very long time, I'm talking about for the next 5 years, 6 years. He could do it if he put his mind to it. Now, here's something worth thinking about. Can you imagine if Kevin Durant never played with Russell Westbrook as a teammate? Can you imagine if KD was just the number one offensive option for like maybe 5 years in his NBA career? Can you imagine the type of numbers that KD has put up? That's the first thing. The second thing is this. KD's played with ball dominant guys like Westbrook, to a certain extent Kyrie Irving, and he's still able to shoot such an efficient clip while playing with these type of guys. To me, that just speaks to the overall greatness of his basketball game. Of course, he mentioned Luka. I think Luka has an opportunity to do it if he continues to play. I think we'll see over time. But Luka's putting up some beast mode numbers, and I think one could argue that Luka is putting up better numbers at the same point in his career than LeBron. Now, obviously, LeBron played in a different NBA where the pace was different, so you got to factor that in. But he's putting up some very, very, very impressive numbers. And of course, we have Giannis, but we'll see how Giannis's game develops as he gets older, when some of his athleticism begins to wane. But I think he was right to mention Kevin Durant. Some people would disagree, but I think LeBron was he was onto something. So what I want to know from you is simply this. What do you think about LeBron saying that KD could be one of the guys to catch him? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we catch you on the next show. Peace.